everybody, Connor here from the Daubers, and we're going into week 4 of round 2 of Shim-Line Saturdays. Let's see who's fighting this week. So this week we have Bold Boimler versus Doty the Automaton. So we have Star Trek Lower Decks fighting off against another Critical Role card. They cards seem to be quite heavy hitting when it comes to this show, but I think, personally, no bias, wee bit of bias, I definitely think this is the winner so far. I think Bold Boimler, by far one of the community submissions, I think might be the toughest thing that anyone's going to fight right now. Look at the shim down the centre. I think it is absolute hairline fractions off from being perfectly centered. Like, I really don't think this one's far off from that scenario. And art wise, I mean, this is such a mental card. I feel bad for Doty. I don't know if he dies in the show. Somebody spoil that one. But I think Bo Boimler, the evil version of himself, I think he might just kill Doty. Because this is mental. Look at that shim. This shim cuts almost, as I say, fractions of a hairline off of it, off of being it centered. This one is immediately going to get full marks on the centering. I don't think you could unnaturally do this. But then here's the big kicker. The artwork. Does it interrupt the artwork? Technically, yes, because it does cut right down the middle. But I'm pretty sure from this episode, he's also he's got his split identity, which I think this shim might be the first time ever in history that it almost thematically needs to exist. This might be the one time that I will never say that again, that this might be the one time a shim needed to be on a card. This cuts through perfectly where you do get that when you do the gradient linings. You get that kind of good and bad feeling from him, right? Like, he does genuinely look good and evil at the same time because of the line. Art-wise, I think this is a steal. This might be the best thing ever. Like, this one, oh my god, this is such a tough compend. This is everything, the whole thing. It is boggling my mind how much this makes me want to like shims. This is what's happening right now. We are having to figure this one out, and I think, possibly for a second week, I ain't looking back the tapes, this might be the perfect 5. I think this gets the 5 out of 5 treatment. I think, again, the shim line is perfect, almost perfectly down the centre. So much so that, again, from my eyes, and I have glasses on, this could be perfect. Art-wise, I think it really does sell pretty well to what it wants to do. This one's a tough one. Again, I don't want to show bias, but I am biased, and I think this one needs to go through to next week. Again, there might be rigging on the votes if you vote against me on this one, just saying, just so you know. So let's have a look at its competitor. So we have Doty the Automaton. Now this one, the shim, is a tiny, tiny bit off from the centre. A little bit more than Brad, but not by much, to be honest. So actually, as much as I was being biased, I'm also a hefty liar. And I think actually this one almost cuts perfectly where it needs to be as well, to be quite fair. This one's tough. This one's tough because, yeah, it's very close. Just a tiny, tiny bit more off. And even then, it might not even be that much more off. It might just be the fact that there's not technically any major art in the centre where it cuts through. So that might be what's making it look a little bit further off. But actually, if we were to compare, it might not be. So I'm going to say this one also is going to be close to the perfect shim down the centre. On the art front, does it interrupt the art? Does it do a lot? It kind of messes up those cloud connections as such. There's a couple of cloud connections because it cuts up just where the two of them meet. That's a bit rough. You can sort of see it there, and then yeah, because of the way the lighting hits it sometimes, it's a bit of a tough one. It doesn't cut off on Automaton himself, Mr. Doty. He's pretty much safe. Oh man, does this have a hidden shim at all? That was the thing we should look. I don't think it does. I think this is so bang in the middle. I honestly don't think there's a light source you could avoid. Nah, I think this one's just very much in your face. It is the shim. Like, I think there's no real way to dodge this one, to be honest. Yeah, if you had this in a lineup, you'd be like, yep, that's the one. Put him in jail. He is shimmed up for sure. This is a tough one for this week. I don't know how you guys are going to vote. I was initially biased, and then I've actually kind of changed my bias just down to maybe hatred of Shims. I don't know what it is that's doing it to me, but we're going to line both these up just enough where you can see both. That's a bit better, because I don't want any bias when it comes to this. Oh my goodness, they are like so all. They are both like, I think Boimler's is just slightly more centered, but so by such a little degree. Did we even give Dotyman his rating? I don't think we did, but I think it's a 4.5. No, do you know what? I'm going to give it also a 5. I'm going to give it a 5 because I think the two of these are really going to be. Yeah, this might be the week of all weeks when it comes to the voting for sure. This one's a tough one. But yeah, I'll see you all next week and we'll figure out who of these two titans makes it to the next round. I'll see you all next week, everyone.